Good morning. Thank you for joining us, everybody. You got a great turnout today for one of the hottest topics in the federal government. On behalf of Government Acquisitions Incorporated, Dell EMC, and NVIDIA, it's my pleasure to welcome you to today's event, Accelerated AI, Shaping the Future of Government with Artificial Intelligence. Artificial intelligence is one of the hottest topics in our market right now. We see it across all of our brands. Whenever we write about it, whenever we hold an event around it, there's just a hunger in the federal and defense workforce for what it actually means, why it's a priority, and what solutions are really available right now. Today we're going to dive into how AI can transform the way government and defense agencies operate, how they deliver services, and how they protect the nation. We'll hear from government and defense leaders, researchers, and industry experts who are excited to share their insights on a future with AI technologies, best practices and strategies for adoption, implementation, and more. We want everyone to be a part of this conversation, so please be sure to tweet your thoughts and questions throughout the day using a hashtag #Accelerated AI, just like up here on the poster. I'd also like to take a moment to thank our partners today for helping us put on this event. Government Acquisitions, Dell EMC, and NVIDIA. Now I'm very honored to introduce Jay Lamke, the President of Government Acquisitions. Jay oversees all of Government Acquisitions operations and is a true expert in his field. Please join me in welcoming Jay to the stage to give an overview of today's program.
Thanks, sir. I'm an undereducated kid from South Louisiana. I've never been called an expert on anything, so that was great. So welcome, everybody. We're glad to have you here. Again, my name's Jay Lamke. I'm the President of Government Acquisitions, or as we like to call ourselves, GAI. And we have a great lineup of speakers and panelists today that we hope you'll find very engaging. It's my personal objective as I come to these things as a participant. I always come with the mindset that I want to take away at least one bit of knowledge or one relationship that I gained in the audience that I can bring back into my work and put into action. So I hope that at a minimum you come away today with that. Real quick, Government Acquisitions. Can you turn me down a little bit? Real quick, Government Acquisitions is we're an IT solution provider to the federal government. We've been doing nothing but the federal government for almost 30 years now. And so in my 30 plus years in the business, I can tell you that I've never been more excited and energized about what I see happening in our industry around AI and machine learning and deep learning and even robotic process automation. I've also never been more concerned, and I'll try to draw a quick contrast as to those two things. So on the excitement side, the work that NVIDIA is doing with GPU technology is causing this mass acceleration of AI, machine, and deep learning. And it's not just the GPU technology that's causing an accelerant. They also are making rapid advancements in the software and algorithms to enable that together. So you have two kind of accelerants happening together that are causing this major technology. And if you were listening to the video before, at the risk of repeating myself, AI has been called not just the next wave of technology, but literally a tsunami, or put more positively, a rising tide that will lift all boats. And so it's just this incredibly transformative technology that will impact everything we do in work and in our personal lives over the next 20 years. And that's very, very exciting. And so that's what's the good, that's what's exciting. What makes me very nervous, and all of us here are engaged in the business of the federal government in some way, shape, or form. And so what makes me nervous is the fact that throughout history, major technological shifts have caused a shift in the balance of power in the world. And so it's critical to the men and women in this room and out here who do the work of government every day that we keep the U.S. federal government at the forefront of what's happening in AI, machine, and deep learning, because the consequences of not doing that are fairly catastrophic. So China, for one, has said they will lead in AI. They will dominate the market in AI, and there's a number of smart people in the federal government, academia, and industry that have said the nation that dominates AI will dominate the world going forward. I, for one, believe that the world's a much better place when the U.S. is in a lead economic position. And so it's incumbent upon all of us to make that happen in what we do. Now, AI, machine deep learning, and robotic process automation are very early, right, still. There's a lot of work to be done. And what we see is DoD and Intel communities are well ahead of most of the civilian agencies in terms of the work that's being done. And so we brought a number of folks here today from the DoD and intelligence community to help those who are not as far along in their AI work to benefit and learn from what they've experienced so far and where they are. So again, we have a great lineup of speakers today and panelists, and we hope that you find value in it. Let me introduce just a few people real quick so that you'll know who some of us are. You probably see our pictures around, which is kind of embarrassing, but so that you'll know who we are and you can pull us aside at the break and talk to us if you need to. So first and foremost, Steve Harris. Steve is Senior Vice President of Dell's Public Sector, Dell EMC's Public Sector. Anthony Robbins, where's Anthony? Anthony's coming up after me. I'll introduce him in a second. That's Anthony Robbins. He is Vice President of Public Sector for NVIDIA. My CTO, Prem Jadwani, is right here. And so I think, so feel free to pull us aside and talk to us about anything at all. Let me go through real quick the agenda and give you an idea how the day is going to go before I introduce Anthony. So we've got me from 8:30 to 8:40, 8:40 to 9 o'clock. Anthony's going to talk about the state of artificial intelligence. We have a great panel at 9 o'clock to 9:40 that Steve will lead. And then at 9:40 to 10, Prem will come in and talk about AI for the mission. We have a break from 10 to 10:10. And then at 10:35, I'll be doing we have another discussion on overcoming the barriers to adopting and implementing AI. And then I have a fireside chat, so to speak, with Dr. Deborah Frinke from the Director of Research for NSA. And then we'll close the thing up for the day. So does that sound good to everybody? All right. Thank you all for being here. I'd like to introduce Anthony Robbins, who is not only a great friend, but one of the most capable business leaders in this community. And he told me not to say anything about him, so I'm going to say something about him. One of the most capable business leaders in the federal business, and he's fortunate enough to be leading NVIDIA's public sector efforts and doing a heck of a job at it. So, Anthony?